talk about your opponent. It's Ty Freeman, 10-6 record. How do you feel like you match up against him?
I feel like it's a great matchup, honestly. I feel like he's going to be easy to find. Not a lot of movement. He's going to be tough. He has decent power. Pretty basic wrestling, pretty basic everywhere else. But I feel like I'm going to be too much for him. My movement, my athleticism is just going to be too much for him.
And how's the weight cut going? This fight's on Friday. You seem like you're in a good mood, so it sounds like everything's going well.
I just got in training, so I feel pretty good. It was the last day of training. I was 180 after training, which is it's easy work. 3 days out, I'm already a gallon of water in, so that's not even a problem. But yeah, so weight cut's pretty easy. Fighting to 170, cutting to 170 is not a bad thing for me. It's pretty easy. I don't have to try too hard. My diet, I usually eat clean 90% of the year anyways, and to make 170, I just clean that up like 2 weeks out, like super hardcore, like 2 weeks out, and then my weight just falls off, and I'm pretty fine. I don't walk around too big either. I'm usually around 187, 186, so it's not terribly bad.
Excellent. Who's going to be in your corner for this fight?
I got Trey Ogden in my corner this fight.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's a great cornerman. He's kind of learned a lot from James. James will be in Winnipeg for Tim Elliott, and then Zach Cummings will be in Winnipeg also with Julian Marquez. So we got a lot of big fights this week. And so Trey been cornered a couple times. Me and him went down to Arkansas when I fought on Pyramid Fights against Wade Johnson. Me and him kind of took a road trip down there. It was kind of cool, and I don't know. You can say we kind of bonded a little bit. We got to do some hiking and stuff like that. So it was real fun, and I just felt real comfortable with him in my corner. And we've trained together for so many years that we know each other, and it just works out pretty well when we get engaged.
And Trey's an LFA vet as well, so he's kind of familiar with the promotion too, so that I'm sure helps as well. So this Friday, what can fans expect? How do you sort of see this fight unfolding?
I know he's going to come out quick. He's going to come out nice and aggressive, and that's fine with me. I'm calm under pressure, and I feel I'll knock him out or TKO him. I'll definitely take him down. I'm going to hold him there. I'm going to beat him up. I'm going to make him want to quit. So that's the way I see it going. I'm never going to predict like I'm going to knock him out right this way, but I feel I'm going to break him. I'm going to hurt him, and I'm just going to keep hurting him until he wants to give up.
Love it. Now, obviously, this is the big fight for you here. I mentioned for LFA. The LFA welterweight division, a little bit of a mess right now because they've got the champion, Nakashima, sidelined with an injury, so they've got sort of an interim fight or something along those lines, number one contender fight between Nick Barnes and Curtis Millender, so there's a bit of a logjam there. Now, I imagine, are you looking at, the contender series? Are you looking at, potentially going to the UFC? They've got that card coming up in St. Louis. I know it's kind of close together, but are you kind of being on standby for that just in case?
I told Joe Wooster as soon as that card came out, I was like, hey, get me on that card as fast as possible. And he's like, we got this card to worry about. I'm like, okay, I'll destroy this guy on LFA. And if the UFC calls, that's great. If the contender series calls, that's great. Whatever the game brings, I'm up for it. I'm ready. If I'm out to the bigger show, I'm fine with that. Whoops. I'm up for the bigger show. If I got to move up a couple rankings, that's fine with me. I'm prepared for anything. I know my game's where it needs to be.
What are you watching on TV right now? Any Netflix during training camp right now?
You know what? It's going to sound really weird, but I just finished Californication.
Oh, nice. Well, that's not weird at all. It's a great show.
Well, it's a little bit older show, so you figure you'd watch something newer. It's a little bit older show. I went back and watched that. I've actually just got Netflix a couple of months ago, and I've kind of been hooked on it. I'm a romantic comedy type of guy, which is going to sound funny too, but I watch Friends. I watch that 70s show. I watch How I Met Your Mother, those type of shows. So I thought it was Californication just ended, so I'm kind of in between shows right now.
Good stuff, man. Well, we can't wait for this fight. It's LFA 29 coming up here this Friday, live on Access TV. Jason, it's always good catching up with you, man. We've been doing interviews for a couple of years now, so it's always great talking to you. Just to remind people where they can get a hold of you on social media, and I'm sure you got some sponsors, so by all means, plug away. The floor is yours.
Absolutely. Beautiful. I do got a couple sponsors. I got a new mouthpiece company. Dr. Michael Hutchinson he produces Power Plus mouth guards, which is just like a new technology of mouth guards. It really cuts down on concussions, things of that nature, which is pretty cool. Kelly Baltuska, it's hard to say his last name. He's a chiropractor, really helps me out, keeps my body fresh for training camp, stuff like that. And Direct Vapor is also a new sponsorship that I got. I'm pretty happy about that. You can find me on Twitter at Jason Witt MMA. Instagram is _Vanilla Gorilla. And Facebook is just Jason Witt. So those are all my tags, and I'd appreciate any follows I can get.